and welcome to another episode of Patito's Gang, the show that stimulates conversations about political, social, and economic issues in the country. Today on the show, we are looking at music. Yes, music. And we're talking about the originator of Afrobeat itself, Fela, the all-time creative genius. Let's join the gang for more.
Okay, now he's so large that I don't think that this room can fit him. Fela Anikulapo Kuti. The people, he's like the elephant. People see him from different sides. You touch this end of him, this is one of the greatest political philosophers Nigeria has ever produced. Touch the other end of him, creative genius. Touch another end of him, export economy. I mean, Fela put Nigeria on the world map. I think what tells the story really. In 1996, I went to Wharton. I had a meeting with the dean of Wharton, which was the leading business finance school in the world. And I'm talking with this dean and about relationships in Nigeria. I say, oh, okay, in finance, one of our great geniuses here, Professor So-and-so. Why don't you go and meet with him? I go off, I enter. The guy says to me, you're from Nigeria. Do you dig Fela? And I'm going, this is the great business professor. He's asking me, do you dig Fela? So Fela was that genius. But Nigeria has not done enough to immortalize him. And that's part of the tragedies of this country. Fela is tourism. We should really take Kalakuta, take its shrines, create a tourist attraction. People will come from all over the world and play his music. In fact, create a museum where as you're walking around, there are images, there are video of him performing for real, all kinds of things, the car he drove. What is the matter with us? Why can't we get value out of our heroes? So, Fela, a genius.
Yeah, you're right. Some 560 years, 600, we are calling Niccolo Machiavelli the father of political science. Mm-hmm. But Niccolo wasn't as profound because his philosophy was tailored to suit those in government. But philosophy combined politics with outspokenness, with courage. But the most important thing, he was extremely precise. I remember when we were in school, from UI we would come to spend weekends in Lagos. And Fela, to watch Fela live and to watch Fela comment on social and political issues was a lecture on its own. And one other thing you will recall, Fela the music you heard recorded would have been the music that had been played over 5 years within the shrine. I remember when JJD came, we pleaded with him, release JJD. He said no. Right? When Johnny just dropped. And you asked Fela on the shrine, could you play one of the older tunes, John Coco? He said this one is Swegbe. You know that he had a way of bringing life to whatever discussion. And you could see that even if he stepped on your toes, he meant well for you. It wasn't personal.
I think the area I really cherish, Fela, was the area of tourism. My first contact with the shrine was through a friend who was heading about
a foreigner.
A German.
Yes, all the foreigners. That's where
about Frederick Stipton.
Yes.
This guy, we knew each other when I was serving in 1981. And so when I came to Lagos, he said, let's go to Fela. I said, Fela, yes, we played the music. When I got there, 2/3 of the people waiting till around 1. Abameda didn't come until 1 o'clock.
That was
2/3 were foreigners, which means that was the area where they find relaxation, and when they go back to their countries, this So, in the area of tourism, within, and again, apart from tourism, sorry I have to digress a bit, I think it made people start seeing, deviant behavior as a way of, enlarging the social and political, social and cultural, space. Because Fela was like a deviant.
I don't know what was like deviant. One of the people always there was the Inspector General of Police himself, MD Yusuf.
What I mean by deviant is okay. There are some. No, I think maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know the meaning of deviant. What I'm saying is, within the family, you have doctors, you have this. But here is someone who just
was insane.
Exactly. And by so doing, was able to prompt that up to international level. Now, as you are now, I think one of your sons is now, despite degree in law, he wants to move to music and, bring engineering into that. One of my own daughters too, with whatever, is now having, a need for herself by bringing ashoki and leather together to make a living. You get my point. So when you see and you trace this to where they did start from, I mean within our own generation, you trace it to Fela.
I think just hear you people talk about Fela, just kind of nostalgic feelings. The thing about Fela that I really admire is the fact that he was very bold. Regardless, I mean, we're talking about tension and everything now. It was worse back in the day. But against all odds, he was one person who stood by what he means, what he understands, and he cared for nothing, however things pan out. Now, another thing that Fela did for us was that about culture. The white people, the expatriates who came to Nigeria, not that they understand what he was saying.
You'd be surprised when you understand.
The Africanness, they were very hungry to understand what Africa was all about. So he was there, an emblem of Africa. He stood as one who was very creative, and he found a way of pushing out messages about Africa that no other musician was able to do at that time. And then when you look at Fela then, and the music industry now, there's just this disparity. I don't know how we can push that.
I wouldn't agree with you. They represent different epochs. Because if there is one industry that has done well today, it's Nigerian music industry. That permissiveness and that boldness you said, Fela showed that you didn't need to be a conformist. The son of a reverend gentleman whose siblings were medical doctors, not that he didn't have the brain. He found his own expression in music. And if you were a regular visitor or member of the shrine, as it were, you see the method to his music.
There was method to his madness.
Yes, there was.
The method to the madness. Bolanle Austin Peters has been doing an extraordinary job with reviving theater and all of that. And when our new facility, the arena, was formally declared open, there were all kinds of sketches, including one from Fela. And as the performance was going on, I just froze in nostalgia. Because as a very, very young person, in many ways, Fela was an idol. I spent a lot of time in the shrine, not
indulging yourself.
Not indulging myself in that manner. I mean, I had big brothers, Franco Kuntas of this world and co, who were Fela's very intimate friends. So I spent time there during the day, at night, in the show. So I knew Fela rather well. And in fact, we took Fela as a student at the University of Nigeria. We had him play in Enugu campus, January 1974. I think it was the first time he was crossing the Niger after the war, and lit up the place. But very early, Fela came to me beyond the musician those were the Jeonkoku days of this is great creativity. But above and beyond that, the political icon. The man who saw tomorrow. All the problems that we have had, Fela told us they were coming.
Correct.
That was the point I was trying to bring out.
Yes.
That was the point I was trying to bring
Whether
out.
Ojo Eleba, whether Nepa. In fact, the classic was his last. Because it was like literally signing off. Say, what else would I sing with? Is it about confusion? I've done that.
And in fact, really, if you look at his music, if you review, you will know that it's not just the harmonic, but the message. But the message, because let's not do record of Fela sound the same.
Yeah.
So the message.
But he had his beat, his rhythm was Fela.
Yeah,
and
he had a
constant.
Customized.
Tisha is different from Jeonkoku. You get my point. You just see, but the message is either correcting something in
society.
For us, when we take a break and come back, let's even see the evolution from the Kula Lobitos days all the way
to Africa.
It's an amazing travel.
Fela no doubt had a strong impact in the music industry, from inspiring new sounds to daring political forces of his time. He definitely is a music legend. But let's find out what people on the street think about Fela. Let's go now.
When the government is saying that way, it will be reduced. We don't want people that are just striving to get there.
The only what I can say about Fela, the time of the man. He's a humble man, and he knows the stories of Nigeria. And he always said the truth. Fela also love everybody in Nigeria. You understand? The music of Fela be like pastor. Be like, when pastor ready to preach, some of the voice of the pastors normally happen. It may not happen at the moment, but it can happen at any time. So Fela be like journalist. And we thank God today, may so rest in peace.
Fela has been father to the street boy, to people that cries out their mind.
Yeah, Baba Fela, Baba Tuali, Para, Pororo, Baba Fela is somebody. Baba Fela is a prophet. In fact, when Baba is alive, wow, Nigeria is good. I can say that. All because if any politician or any president, governor want to do a mistake, Baba will use song to follow them. You use song to tell them that what you are doing is not a good thing. So Baba Fela is a prophet for that.
The essential Fela. How did he evolve? What were the things that drove his emergence? Remember when he first came back from England? Fela was the jazz, high life type. Was in Kakadu back in those days in Ebutemeta. And then Sule nightclub. And the essential Fela began to evolve. I think that military rule was fundamental to what drove Fela. And the impunity of military rule just assaulted Fela's nationalist and development passions. Correct. And his philosophy began to emerge in that. Where are the scholars? Where are the books on Fela's life? Where is the capturing for immortality? I wanted to do a film, The Essential Fela. Years ago, I even talked to some family members, and I think it's still a doable proposition, because it's one of Nigeria's greatest icons.
Correct.
And this country can still sell itself on Fela.
Correct.
In fact, our redemption in many ways can come from reclaiming Fela as the great national,
Even within the academic framework, you see, you cannot teach Americans technology in a way But you can teach them Fela. If you have philosophy, most people over there will come and understand the essential Fela. And who can tell the story better than Nigerians? But we don't have a way of cherishing and nurturing what we have. So we allow that sleep. Fela, like you said, is an icon that can be remolded, right? In spite of his flaws, no human being goes without flaws. But you look at what you call the essential Fela. Fela who came in, he could have been anybody. He could have been a doctor, he could have been anything. But he opted to give his own self-expression. From Kula's Lobito to African 70 to Egypt 80 and all that. And every decade had its own philosophy and target audience. In terms of message, would you say it more? Because of his background and his own freedom, he saw what most of us couldn't see, even those of us who were students in social sciences. When Fela talked about rigged election, we did not know that that was a reality. When he said government magic, for us, what was he talking about? But when some of us eventually got into politics, we saw government magic in action. Something Fela talked some 20, 30 years ago. So you cannot describe him enough. You've talked about the creativity, the tourism, the money, it could be a cash cow.
Yeah, but we tended to focus on the frivolous aspects, the facade, and we never seem to find in popular expression, media and all of that, the person behind the persona. 27 wives. And then we carried on about that bit of madness, and we didn't see the logic behind the madness that gave it a system. How could we today recapture Fela for the purpose of the education of a generation that didn't know him? What are the things that we could be doing? I personally would like to see a Fela museum that would be a huge tourist place. Just the way you have presidential libraries, unfortunately, that it should be a Fela library that we have in Abeokuta. Not the presidential library, okay. And I'm going to shoot, both can coexist.
I would have loved to see the first Mercedes car being used to carry firewood.
Yeah. He was the first civil rights.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that presidential library is justified. We can have another one.
Yes.
I like to make trouble with the man who built the library, so he knows he expects that from me. So,
or maybe in his library there should be a section for Fela.
I'm going to tell him that.
Okay.
Then let us have a Fela section
now you're talking.
in the presidential library.
Now you're talking.
Like the real message in some of these. For instance, when he bought a brand new Mercedes car and used it to carry firewood, super elite. Yes, it was to show people that. Then again, when he sang the song, Imam Udegbaladun, you get my point. And what do we see today?
Yeah, it does. Played out.
That's what we see today.
Yeah.
Then we couldn't see that.
No.
But now it has rolled out.
You don't see pastors.
I think what Prof said earlier really made a lot of sense, in the sense that now you're talking about immortalizing Fela. Maybe that would also encourage young ones to aspire, to inspire. Because quite a number of people are like, okay, even if I do this, nobody will acknowledge it, or let alone remember that I did this. So again, the system in itself discourages a lot of things that would have happened. I mean, people being encouraged to go out of their ways to do something that would actually add to societal values.
To be fair, we've had developments in a positive way. I was on a flight coming in from Europe not too long ago with Two-Face in Libya, and he got a lot of attention as we were waiting to board the flight. People went to take photographs with him, and we were all chatting and all of that. So I'm glad that has come to happen with creative icons, but they all owe it to Fela.
Correct.
You know, there was a time when if you said you were going to music, your parents went to the shrine to beg the gods that they don't know what they have done wrong. But
when you talk about Two-Face, these are things they did for themselves by themselves. I'm talking about structures. Let them be like some kind of, maybe a podium where artists are recognized, given national honors, special national honors like they do in other climes. That way, more people will be encouraged to do something substantial, something that will, put their names in the sands of time.
The young ones have really carved that out. There is a future award, for instance.
Even paying respect. Did you watch Sir Victor Laya with Two-Face?
Yes, I did.
It was a beauty to behold.
Yes.
Right?
We want many more of that. That's what
there is a movement actually that is going on to revive high life music. OJ's restaurant at the National Stadium is a working place from which I think Mr. Shaw is running this initiative. We used to talk about Elders Forum, but it's not Elders Forum anymore. This is broad, and the collabos, as they call them, right?
Yes.
Between some of the new superstars emerging and some of those oldies, example of Two-Face, Sir Victor, Dr. Victor Laya, tells you that something. And I was also glad to see before he passed on, our friend Okeresi Number.
I think it's
$1 Yes, passed now. But I was glad to see that he came back. Last year, events around my birthday, we had the original Rex Lawson band play.
Oh yeah.
They came from Port Harcourt and they took people. There's a guy who was in the original band. He was 80-something years old. Was on the conga drums. He was fantastic. We were just freaking out. These are the things that we have in this country that we are not exploring.
Okay, my question here.
Still alive. Because I know when Fela was raised, around 1971. It was either Fela, Diankoku, or Shegun Buckner. You get my point?
There were a number of them.
But after that, we don't hear so much about him.
But people like Tunji Ilano are still very much around. In those days when we lived in Ibadan, the Benders, but
my question here is, what is it about this old breed that makes them so look at the way you talk about them.
Yeah, because the music makes sense. They compose music and you can make money out of. I see what type of music. It's only the reading now. It's not the message.
Exactly.
It's not the message.
Exactly.
So when you now bring the two together, when you marry the two, then it's an innovation.
Yeah. Anyway, unfortunately, all the time in the world will not do to discuss Fela. So let's keep working at it.
May so.
Yes.
Continue to rest in peace.
Amen.
In the words of Fela, music or musicianship should be used for the good of humanity. And we hope that we have inspired you by talking about this great legend. Be sure to catch all the previous episodes of Potatoes Gang on our YouTube channel, that is at Potatoes Gang TV. Let's also keep the conversation going. Send us your thoughts, your comments on all our social media platforms that are displayed on your screen right now. Till I come your way again, I'm Fumbi Ogunbawo. Take care.